On at Indianapolis. More to come. Leader of the Indianapolis 500 continues to be Tom Sneva. Tom Sneva of Spokane, Washington, at age 32, finished second in this race 3 times, 1977, 78, and 1980, but he's never won it.
A bridesmaid. Some bridesmaids never get married, and I think Tom Sneva's trying to prove today that he can get married. It would certainly be nice for his career. It would be great for George McNaughty and Dan Cotter, the new partnership that's been formed to allow this racing team to progress. And look, Rick Mears, fuel only in 1 lap. In fact, Rick was having trouble. I saw a sign from our commentary position here to suggest that his radio wasn't working correctly. They were telling him to try more volume, so he's getting all his information from the pit board now. Of course, a race driver flashing past the pits at more than 200 miles an hour. A lot of the public can't understand how he can easily pick out a full message like he's just had.
You know, you're talking about the bridesmaid reputation of Tom Sneva, and most people felt it was that bridesmaid idea that caused him to be released from the Roger Penske team.
That was suggested, and here he is leading the 500 against the Penske squadron.
Well, and the man who replaced him is Rick Mears in car 6, who is now running second in the race. Okay, here we have Sneva coming into the pits. The leader into the pits, under the green. See how good this new pit crew of his is.
Well, he's got to rely on them right now. 5 men across the wall again. It looks like they're going to change rubber. There's air jacks. You can see the jacks been lifting the car off the ground there. One of the man who puts up that airline helps also to fit the rear wheel. You can see him doing that. Another man fitting up the front wheel. The fuel is already fitted. It's in the car. The fuel lines are back over. They're having a little bit of trouble. Now they're going to help the car to be pushed away to engage the right gear. He's
stalled it.
He stalled it. He's raised his hands. He's in trouble. They're having to pull it back to get the electric starter. The air starter plugged in here. Compressor starter there. They're trying to do that. All of that smoke raising off from the car. It's not in fire. It's just a lot of heat there. Tom Sneva must be awfully frustrated, Jim. Here he is leading a motor race, or was, and here he's now stalled this engine. He can't get it started. When a hot engine like that stalls, it's extremely difficult to refire it again because the fuel going into the combustion chambers is really hot. It doesn't fire up very easily.
We got a fire there. You can't see it, but it's an outlaw fire. Look at people fleeing in every direction. It's Rick Mears trying to get out of his car. He just came into the pits. This could be very bad. You can't see it, but it's there. See him waving his hand. There's Mears. He's got that flame-proof driving suit on. There's a mechanic who's really on fire.
Rick Mears is on fire himself. He's on fire. He's
still not getting that man.
The mechanic's still on fire. You cannot see the flame. It's an alcohol fire.
Look at those tanks right there contain fuel, too. This is a very dangerous situation. They seem to be getting it under control now.
Father Mears there. His father there. The mechanic is obviously burned. He knows he's burned. My, Jim, this could have been a tragedy because there's all that fuel there. The equipment is here. The fire extinguishers are here to put it out. They're really playing a lot on it here.
Well, the other mechanic seems okay for the moment.
Well,
don't know about those burns, though, at this point.
Well, you know, nobody recognizes how heavy a burn is until sometimes too late. But Rick Mears was undoubtedly better equipped for it. His wife
There's
is there.
His wife, yeah.
She's worried, obviously. The biggest risk here, of course, is inhalation. That's his father there, looking over him there. Inhalation. And here's Tom Sneva still trying to get out the pits during all of that drama. Now we're back into the Rick Mears pit. The biggest risk there is inhalation of flame or heat or toxics where you can severely burn your lungs. Now, he was lucky. He had his helmet on, Jim. And, of course, that could have helped him. Look at all that stuff.
A terrible moment there, a terrible moment, and obviously he has at least been helped a great deal by that clothing. Chris Economaki laid out that clothing and explained it to us a little bit earlier. Let's look at that now. Okay, Chris.
Auto racing is dangerous, and those responsible for the conduct of auto races have maintained an ongoing search for safety. In the area of driver clothing, here's what a driver wears in the Indianapolis 500. He starts with a pair of long johns. That's right, long underwear, just like the kind your grandfather made, hot and itchy, but these are made of flame-retardant nylon and cost $78 the pair. Next is a pair of flame-retardant sweat socks. Keep the fire out, $17 a pair. Then, a specially made quilted nylon fire suit with epaulettes on the shoulders so rescue workers can pull an unconscious driver out of the car. Cost $670, and that's usually paid by the company whose name is on the uniform. Then we have these specially made driving shoes with soles to grip the throttle plate and the brake pedal, flame retardant uppers and flame retardant liners. The price, $75 a pair. Then, from the days of the Charge of the Light Brigade, a balaclava or head sock made of flame retardant nylon material, the price, $30. Then perhaps the most important part of all the safety equipment, the custom-made crash helmet made of impact-resistant plastic. It has a visor to keep the grit and grime out of the driver's face and a special breathing apparatus that allows him to breathe in a fire. Attached to that is a restraint strap, which is fastened to the left side of the car to keep the driver's head from lolling to the right and straining the neck muscles. The price of the helmet, $286. Then the newest piece of safety equipment. It's a neck brace. The drivers call it a horse collar. They put it on like this to keep their head from bouncing around when the going gets rough. The price, $30. Then the very special driving gloves with leather palms for a good grip on the steering wheel and flame retardant nylon backing. The price, $64. All in all, $1,250 worth of equipment. And when you think that the most expensive Major League sports player, an NHL hockey player, costs only $625 to outfit, you can see how expensive it is to drive in Indianapolis. More than that, 2 sets of these are needed before you can put them in your ditty bag and carry them away. A total of $2,500 to be properly equipped for the Indianapolis 500.
All right, into the pits now comes car number 25. That's Danny Young. Guys, got flame coming out of that, Jackie.
We seem to see nothing